Are you an entrepreneur? Are you someone who have thought about having your own business or who started your own business? Well, today on the Resilience Catalyst, we're going to look at the type of resilience that entrepreneurs need to move from the idea of the business to executing the business. And today I have a guest. My guest is Sue Pat. Sue is a resilient entrepreneur who overcame a severe spinal injury through faith and spirituality. She created a simple, effective programs tailored to small business owners, and she's called it the Rapid Revenue Blueprint that helps fast track monetization for digital products. So Sue is joining me today. Sue, welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for the opportunity. I really appreciate it.
Oh, you're very welcome. It's a pleasure to have you here with us. And you call yourself a resilient entrepreneur. So tell us, what does that mean? And you share a little bit of your story, but tell us, what does it mean to be a resilient entrepreneur in your mindset?
Entrepreneur means basically how many times you fall down, don't count that. If you are getting up, just if that number is more than you are falling down, you are resilient. You should, I mean, that is, I really feel that is so important because, everyone will be knocked down. And I really feel those are not failures, those are the learning lessons. That is
Mm,
how you are making your muscles strong. And
mm.
that is how you are becoming resilient. And I know you are entrepreneur. I think that is the best self-help, self-development program. And that is the best way to develop resilient in your own life and in your own business.
Wow. Well, Sue, you are a woman of my heart. One of the things we talk about here at the Resilience Catalyst Show is the currency of resilience. And those of you who are listening, you know I talk about the currency of resilience. I believe that resilience is an untapped currency. It's something we can build, we can measure, we can map, and we can create in our work and in our life. And for those of you who are entrepreneurs, well, I've been an entrepreneur for 28 years. And as Sue said, it's not about falling down. It's about developing the resilience currencies in your bank accounts that you need to have it. You put money away for savings. We try to have relationships. We do all these things, but we forget that all the things that come together for us to be resilient. And one of the goals we have here so is to make resilience less abstract from something out there. It's like, oh, when you read it, it's fall. But there's a psychological, there is a social, there is a spiritual, there is an emotional, there's an intellectual, there is an environmental. There are 9 dimensions of our lives that we need to be resilient in. And I'm so excited that you talk about the spirituality, and we believe that this is the foundation and those are the anchors for resilience. So tell us a little bit more about your story and how you found your resilience to get back up.
So I want to first of all actually agree with you. You said there are so many dimensions because many times as an entrepreneur, many times people are thinking just unilateral, just one way, revenue, revenue, revenue. No, that's not it, because there are so many other things. And when you have this resilience currency, I think you become prosperous in each and every area. And my story, yeah, my story started long back. My story started when I was a teenager. I had problems, and as a teenager, if you have problem, generally there are two solutions, either drugs or spirituality. And I'm really thankful that I got into spirituality because I knew that I was totally messed up. I knew that I needed some work to be done on myself, and I was not blaming somebody else for my situation. And I got into spirituality, and I got deeply into it because I realized that my questions are getting answered. I was getting peace, and that is what I was looking for. Because when we are thinking about whatever currency we want to achieve in our life or any dimension, the ultimate solution we want is happiness. And that happiness, that peace, I was getting through spirituality. And spirituality doesn't mean you abandon everything and you go to forest and jungle and live on your own terms or live alone. No, that doesn't mean. As an entrepreneur, actually, you are dealing with various kinds of people, and you have to still control your mind and still you have to be persistent and consistent. And so that is what happened. And I had various businesses. Some businesses went on really well, some businesses just taught me. But right now, whatever I am, it is the effect of everything. Some which went on good, yeah, that actually gave me monetary benefit and many other benefits. And some didn't go that well. They taught me a lot of life lessons. Some were really hard. And ideally, it is good to learn lessons. It is good to learn lessons with your own mistakes, but it is better to learn lessons with somebody else's mistakes. So I'm really happy that you have a podcast where you are teaching your audience that what works, what doesn't work, so that they are getting shortcut. So I really want to applaud to your community. Means they are blessed to be part of your community because you are teaching them, you are helping them so much. That is what I just wanted to tell you.
Oh, super. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. And you talk about spirituality, and one of the things we do, we teach, and those of you who are watching, you will recall when we talk about spirituality, we want to make it less abstract because people get confused when we talk about spirituality as one of the resilience anchors. And in there, we talk about things like your self-esteem, your values, your purpose. We talk about your culture. We talk about balance. We talk about your vision. Talk about gratitude, courage, integrity, trust. Those are the things that are so important. Hope and faith. Without that, we cannot be resilient. We don't have the currency. We have the idea, but we don't have the currency to apply them because things can go south in life. And when things go south, we need to have these anchors to hold on to. Just like you go in, sailing, and you have a mast that helps your boat to your ship to go where it needs to go. But if you out there and you're surfing, your surfboard is your anchor. In life, our resilience anchors are what keeps us floating so we can move with the wave, and as we talk about surfing, and we can roll with the punches, and we can move on in life. It's not, some people never really fall, but they're we can get those push, and we can get those waves that are really high, and you go up and down. And that life is not a straight process, whether you're as an entrepreneur or you're an employee or a leader, anybody in life. Everyone needs resilience. And I like what you said. So you said it doesn't matter where you are, everybody is going to face a tough time in their life where they need to bounce back, where they need to come back and pick themselves up and get back on course, because we have that course, right? We get off course in life. So I want you to imagine that we have people viewing us, our viewers are watching, and someone is a young entrepreneur, or even just thinking about starting their business in entrepreneurship, and they're scared, they're worried, they're frightened, they're hopeful, they're anticipating, and all these emotions are going. What would you say to that person?
Yeah, first of all, I wanted to actually mention what you said, and I agree with you. It is not a straight line, and there is nothing straight line. If you go to hospital, get admitted, and if your heart shows straight line, that means you will be declared dead. So there is never a straight line. So I totally agree with you. There is never going to be a straight line. And spirituality, again, I want to tell spirituality is not a religion, because I personally studied many religions, because I know Sanatan Dharma, but my kids went to Christian school, my husband went to convent school. I personally studied the Bible for a long time. I studied Buddhism. So spirituality is not religion. But I can just say the spirituality is the one thing that you find God in yourself and you find God in other person, and then you live your life at the higher level, because at any given point of time in your life you have a choice at what level you want to live. And whether the person who you are talking to may not agree to live at that particular level, but you are giving that experience to yourself. So why not to choose to live at the higher level? And that is the spirituality, means basically see the creator in you. So you don't beat yourself down and you don't put yourself down, but you also give the same respect to the person you are dealing with. And that is the thing. So if someone, as a new entrepreneur, you are scared, you are frightened, so basically I think you have forgotten the creator who created you, because created you in his or her own image. So there is nothing to be scared of. See, first of all, you can dream to have your own business. That itself is a great achievement, because many people cannot even think that big. And most of the time, once you are aware of your situation or problem or even your desire, 50% of the problem is solved, and the rest is just the implementation and execution, because you are not going to get anything just, hey God, give me I want blueberries, give me blueberries. No, it's not. You have to go and go to store, you have to buy, and or you can go to farm and you have to pluck yourself. So whatever it is, so you have to put into action, and then the results will follow. Nothing is personal, so if something is happening, don't play victim mentality. Why me, poor me? No. Everybody had challenges. Only thing, your challenges will be different from my challenges. The only thing you learn from your and mine and everyone else's challenges, that if they can do it, I can do it, because I'm created by the same creator, and they are no different, means they also have two eyes and two ears and one mouth. I am also in exactly the same. So if they can do it, I can do it. So there is, fear is not, see, many times people think courage is absence of fear.
Hmm.
No, courage is not absence of fear. Courage is overcoming fear. And everybody has fear, so you just overcome, and action actually takes care of fear. So if you
I
put
like
in action, you will overcome your fear.
I like that because I too believe that act, fear comes from inaction, right? Inaction breeds fear because the more time you have to harbor fears and thoughts of fear and to imagine the worst, the more it multiplies. But if you're busy acting, this is what I want, I'm going to do it. And I like the analogy you talk about. If I want blueberry, I can't just sit at home and say, Lord, give me blueberry. But I can say, okay, where can I get blueberry? I can go to the store to get some blueberry. Well, it's winter time. I can't go to the farm, so I have to go to the store. But if it's summertime, maybe I look at where is a wild blueberry bush where I can go pick some blueberries, right? You might have to think about the beers and maybe get some beer spray. So you spray the beer so you can get the blueberries. The beers are bigger than you. I think sometimes we don't think about the contingency. So you're going to pick blueberries. You have to ask yourself, what are some situations I might find myself in when I go to pick blueberries? There might be some bear. There might be a mother bear with her cubs, and she will not like me trying to take their food. So maybe I have to come up with, okay, if that's the case, what do I need to do? If I see a bear, what are some things I can do to chase the bear away so I can get the blueberry before the bear? So you have to think, and that's what we do when we want something. That's the resilient thinking. You think about contingencies. You talk about, what do I need to put in place? What is my plan A and my plan B? Very important. The other thing we talk about in resilience is resilient decision making, because our mind is so busy, we're not making the right decisions. We're making decisions that are stress, and these decisions are taking us away from where we should be going. So very, very important to do. And under the currency of resilience framework, we look at how we can make our lives resilient, meaning that we're plush, meaning that just like you want to be rich in your bank account and you want to have all that cash, you can be rich in resilience. And actually, financial resilience is one of the competencies we teach. It's one of the dimensions of your life. But you, some people want to have one part of their life really, really good. I want money, but what about happy? Money doesn't buy happiness. What about relationships? What about, your thought process? What about your spirit, that soul that lives in you? How do you nourish it? So we don't resilience becomes so abstract, and we are always trying to make it real and tangible for our clients and our audience, because and that's why we provide the resilience diagnostic platform where you can go and map in all your daily activities and your wellness activities and get a resilience score so you can see where you are and where you need to go, what's the gap and what you need to do to be more resilient, because you can't negotiate life without resilience. You
Oh,
just can't.
absolutely. And I loved what you said, plan A and B, because you have insurance for everything. You have car insurance, you have home
Mhm.
insurance, you have health insurance. But many times, yeah, people don't have job insurance.
Exactly.
So you have to have some backup.
Mhm.
So entrepreneurship, it is the best idea. That
Yes.
is really a best plan B you can have.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
really means you actually kept on throwing nuggets of wisdom more and more. And plan A and B. Yeah. So if you can have insurance for everything, why not for your own financial security? And also decision making, yeah. Because
Mhm.
many times when people are working for somebody else is making their decisions.
Mhm.
But no, you are an entrepreneur, you are going to make your own decisions.
Yes. Yes. And we always have to remind people, most people think, when I say I have a business for 28 years, they're like, "Oh, you must be rolling in the dough. You must be so rich. You must be, you know, entrepreneur will always be working hard. It's not about working all the time. It's working strategically. As an entrepreneur, I spent we just um built out our SaaS platform, and this is where one can go and input their daily activities and wellness activities and get their resilience score. And so we had to build the website, and we have to do. So I spent my weekend developing SOPs. All right. That is my task. This is something I can't delegate. This is something I know I have to do because I have to download all the stuff in my brain so we can have these SOPs for my team to be efficient. And this morning, as I was talking to my team, they're like, "Oh, this is great. This is exactly what I needed." Because you get to a place where your business and what you have to do is bigger than the time you have, and you need to be able to strategize. You need to put things in priorities. You need to be able to delegate better. You need to be able to supervise better. It's not about just I have a business and it stays static. Business grows, they contract, they expand, right? Business, there are challenges that come with business. There are financial challenges. There's growth, there's stagnation that happens in business. There's so many elements of being an entrepreneur. And as an entrepreneur, you could get sick. It's different than when you have a job, you get sick leave, you go for a week, you can go for 3 months. Nothing happens. But as an entrepreneur, you gotta limp there because you are carrying many hats, you're wearing many hats. And so you even need to build your resilience more by looking at something I said to my team. I said, we're not a resilient organization if our team backup isn't there, if we don't have proper backup, better proper strategies in place, proper places, even just to make sure we have enough storage for our database. I said, these are all the things that's going to keep us resilient, knowing who is the next person on the team if this person isn't there or not available. All of those things are what we have to do. And that's why we need to have resilient thinking, because we have to think critically all the time, right? To ensure where's the gap? What am I missing? What did I not see? Did we cross all the T's and dot the I's? Because that's part of resilience. Otherwise, you're always dealing with crisis.
I
And when
know.
you're dealing with crisis, it takes a lot of energy.
I loved what you said, priorities. That was the biggest mistake I did because when I started my own business, it was like that. I started my day with the activities of the things which I love to do the most or which I was comfortable to do most. So what I would do, I would open Canva and I would start designing because I'm artist at my heart. And then at the end of the day, I really felt useless because I didn't achieve anything. Because you said, as an entrepreneur, you wear many hats. And then when I was evaluating my resilience score, most of the day I was wearing graphic designer's hat. I was not wearing CEO hat. I was not wearing VP hat. I was not wearing any of those hats. I was wearing the lowest possible level hat. And then you mentioned another thing that the delegation. Then I realized, okay, this is my own business. If I'm wearing whatever number of hat, 27, 37, whatever it is, I will make sure that I'm wearing the highest quality, highest valued hat most of the time, and I can delegate the things which I can delegate easily.
Mhm.
And as you mentioned, creating SOPs, you can create SOPs, you can create workflows, you can hand over that workflow, you can delegate that, and then you wear the most important hats most of the time, and then you will see your business scaling on fast track. Yeah, it's you
Absolutely.
are just telling my story. I don't need to tell my story because you whatever you mentioned, I lived through it. I'm just telling through my own experiences. I have gone through all that. Then now I have my priorities set. So even if I don't achieve everything on my to-do list, my resilience score is high because I'm covering the most important, most urgent things on that day basis. So at the end of the day, I don't feel useless. I feel productive.
Hmm.
And you
Absolutely.
are so fulfilled when you are productive because hey, nobody wants to be useless. And when you know you are productive, oh my goodness, it is so rewarding.
It massages your soul, right?
Yeah.
Because we have that soul and we've been sent on the planet to do something. All of
Hmm.
us have a destiny. All of us have an assignment that we've been sent here to do.
Absolutely.
And we get lost along the way as we're finding our assignment. The whole circle of life is finding that assignment. And many people die without ever finding that assignment.
Oh yeah.
Many people get lost on their
Absolutely.
way to finding that assignment.
Yeah,
They
because
never
whole life
find
people
it.
are just distracted.
Exactly.
Yeah, the assignment
Exactly.
might be just there, but hey, you are not looking there.
And you can't see what's right under your nose, right, most of the time. And this is why I love being a coach. And my work as a conflict analyst led me into coaching because I see a lot of times people cannot see the solutions that are right under their noses, and being able to wear that third eye, be that third eye, and show them, have you thought, or did you see, or are you looking over here? You get that aha, and people start seeing, you know what, I am more intelligent than I think I am. I am smarter than I think I am. And that's where you want people to recognize their own intelligence. And that's why I love to do this work, because when I talk about resilience, it is such, I want to make it as tangible and accessible as possible so that everyone recognizes that this is a currency that they can acquire and implement in their lives, because you are able to unleash it in every dimension of your life, in your relationships, in your workplace, as a leader, if you're leading a team, if you're an employee, you're able to unleash that resilience. You go into your resilience bank account and you can spend as you need, right? But you also know how to fill up.
Yeah,
And I'm a
absolutely.
certain believer of that. You need to measure for you to know where you need to go.
Yeah, and absolutely because as I said, it is good to learn from your own mistakes, but better to learn from somebody else's mistakes. And that's why
Mhm.
the mentor like you comes into picture so that you are learning from somebody else's mistakes and you are giving them shortcuts so
Yes.
that they don't have to make mistakes, same mistakes that you made, so that they can go ahead and do their own mistakes. Yeah, of course,
Mhm.
means you are not going to avoid your mistakes. You are not going to be perfect, as say, because the day you become perfect, God is going to call you anyway, because as a
True.
human being you are not going to be perfect. But mentor like you, it's so essential in your yeah, client's life because you cover their blind spots. Yeah, you own your whole body, but you cannot see what is on your back.
Mhm.
Those are all blind spots, and the mentor is there who is going to take care of all those blind spots. So that's why the coaches like you, mentors like you are so important for your community. It is very, very important. And you mentioned how you bring out the intelligence in there. I remember a story. So there was one lady, she was attending a dinner, and she was sitting in between two known personalities, and both personalities actually spoke to her. And at the end of the dinner they asked her actually, so which personality you really got impressed with. So she said the person who was sitting left to me was all the time telling how smart he was and how great he was. And whenever he spoke to me, he told me how great he was. And the person sitting on my right side, he kept on asking about me and he kept on showing how smart I was. And that is the role, means our role is in our client's life, it is not showing how smart we are, it is showing their intelligence, and that is what you mentioned and that is what you do.
Mhm.
So that is a great work, means it is not easy, because as a human being everybody has ego, but as coaches you have overcome that ego and you are bringing out the best in other people's lives. So that's a great task you are doing, so I really want to applaud you, are doing a great work.
Oh, so thank you so much. It's as we wrap up our show today, what is one thing you want to say to our audience, that person who's feeling overwhelmed and burdened and tired and just feeling like giving up, and you want to encourage them to dig deep and continue to build their resilience because it will fuel the rest of their life.
Oh, yeah, first of all, I will just say we mentioned that is a prioritize, because you have hundreds of things on your list and there is no way you are going to cover everything. So, prioritize delegation and all that we covered. But make sure you give importance to all other aspects of your life too, because as a new entrepreneur we focus too much of our on our business, because even I have been there. I had 80 hours of a week and I was totally at the verge of burnout. I didn't even feel like going to my home office, I didn't even feel like looking at my desk. And then I realized that okay, my best ideas come in hot tub. So you might be thinking, oh, you are taking time off your business and oh, you are not doing work. So if you go to gym or if you go to spa and all, you might be beating yourself up. No, you are becoming more productive, because my best ideas come from there, and that help me save tons of money and time and all,
Mhm.
because you are talking to your higher consciousness. Your thinking is higher. You are giving lots of actually break to yourself, and that is so much needed. I'll tell you a story. There were two woodcutters. One just keeps on chopping wood continuously and other one takes breaks. He also sharpens his axe. He does everything, and at the end of the day, the person who takes breaks and who sharpens his axe, he had more wood cut than the person who keeps on cutting the wood. And that's why I'm saying how you can sharpen your axe, which basically hire mentor or coaches like you, where they can get all the resilience currency. They know how they can create their own currency and take breaks, so that they can talk to their own higher self. There's so many things and you will of course guide them. So prioritizing delegation, yeah,
Mhm.
burnout is not the it's not the solution. Yeah, basically, the less you work, the more you produce.
So true. Those breaks and those time to pause and relax your mind is when the good ideas are scared to come when your brain is busy because they don't want to get lost. They come when your brain is clear and there is space for them to percolate and trigger new ideas. Because if it's all cluttered up there, new ideas are not going to come. So it's very important to take those breaks so those new ideas come because they need more room. They're not going to come in any old junky mind.
Absolutely right.
So it's been great having this conversation with you. Thank you so much for joining us today. It's been a pleasure to connect and to share. Did you have anything you want to leave with our audience? Is there a place where they can reach out to you, where they can
Oh
connect?
yeah, actually my website newbeginning.com, that is new spell nu beginning.com.
Okay.
They can go there and they can get actually lots of free resources. I have lots of freebies and especially AI related freebies.
Okay.
So they can get a head start and of course means, and I'm looking forward to collaborating with you. So yeah, yeah, let's talk further about that too. Thank you.
All right, Sue. Thank you so much for being here. And those of you who are watching the Resilience Podcast, thank you so much for being here for the Resilience Catalyst. And I look forward to bringing more episodes and more topics on how we can build our resilience currency, whether you're an entrepreneur or leader, whether you're working in corporate or you're working for yourself. Resilience is the currency that keeps on giving.